WerewolfLydia here, and welcome back to a new flea market haul on my channel. So this is actually part 2 of episode 65, if I'm correct. And in the first part, as usual, I show you guys the dolls and plushies that I have found, and if you haven't seen that part, you can go ahead and look up on my channel, it's right there. Now in this second part, as usual, I'm going to show you all the little bits and pieces that I have found on the flea market and some cool figurines that I do want to talk about. Now I did wanted to mention that this is the haul, or one part of the haul from 2 months, August and September. So there are quite a few little bits and pieces and figurines that I have found over the course of those 2 months. But yeah, just a heads up of that. And as usual, I'm going to show you guys first the smaller stuff, and you can see the pictures on the screen now. So there are some like a big mix of things. I have found some Pelas pets, for example, which I don't like actively collect, but I just grabbed these because they were in great condition and they were cheap as well. There are some like Pokemon figurines and like Garfield stuff and Topper figurines and just a whole bunch of interesting little stuff that you can see on the pictures. And now back to the video. So after all those things, here are the stuff that I do want to show you guys on camera as well and talk about them, but you will still be able to see them on pictures as well, so that you guys can get a better look at them, I guess. So first and foremost, there are the TMNT figurines or TMNT stuff, and you already saw this from the thumbnail picture. And this is a huge, as you can see, huge Michelangelo figurine. Now it's a pretty light figurine, so it's not like heavy. And this is, by the way, Mikey from the 2012 series. Now he's staying in this position, and from the fact that he is so light, I just thought that this was like probably from like a store display or something, but no, I actually found out later with a little bit of search that this figurine originally came with a skateboard and a remote. And the most fun part, or the most interesting part, was in the skateboard, because this is just like a simple decoration figurine on that skateboard. The skateboard was actually remote controlled, and you would have been able to, just control Mikey around as he is, slashing the streets on his skateboard, and it would have been just like a really fun toy. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, the skateboard and the remote is missing. A collector friend of mine actually picked this figurine up for me from a second-hand store. He said that the skateboard, nor the skateboard or the remote was there, so who knows where those ended up, unfortunately. So I only have the figurine. It would still be really cool if I was able to get a hold of those both, but it's like, I don't think it's possible, or there's a really low chance that I will be able to find those both. And if another chance, or it would be super lucky to have those working as well, because there is always like a chance that they won't work even if I find them. So I just ended up with the figurine, which I don't mind, honestly, because I think it's still a pretty cool piece, and it's in pretty good shape as well. Some paint chipped off here and there, but it's nothing like too dramatic or serious. Unfortunately, I do have to pack away Mikey because he's just way too big for my cabinets over there, and I don't have free space to display him, but he will go with my other big or jumbo-sized turtles in storage, and hopefully, who knows, sometime in the future I will maybe we'll be able to display him, but until then he is going into the storage. Now more TMNT stuff, actually. Let me just grab the figurines. So I have a few here, not a lot, but I have this small Donatello figurine, and he's like standing in this car tire. And it's a pretty weird. He's missing his bow staff, of course, and he is quite weird looking actually, and it's like a really like robbery figurine. Now it does say Mirage Studios 1991 on the bottom, so this is like a vintage figurine, and that means that it's like an original piece. I just don't know where this came from, and I don't really know anything about it. I did ask around in the like TMNT groups on Facebook. Most of the time they are always able to help me, but they were not able to help me this time. Even with Google Lens search, I was only able to find another one of these, which was like Leonardo, but again, no info are there from where this is, where it come from, so I don't know where this is from. Maybe it was like a shampoo bottle or something, like some kind of decoration from somewhere, I have no idea. Regardless, it's a pretty cool find. I just don't know where it's from, so I can't really tell you guys any more info on it either. If anyone does recognize it and knows more about this, then leave a comment on my Facebook page under this video, because I will have to turn off the comment section on this video because of YouTube policies, but you can go ahead and comment on my Facebook page and tell me if you know anything more about that robbery figure, because it seems pretty interesting. Now moving on, another TMNT figurine, and this is Leonardo from the 2003 version. And this is also one of those figurines that have a gimmick. I think he was supposed to, I do think I actually have Donatello from this series, by the way. He was supposed to be like lifting something, some weights or like dumbbells or something, because he does have like a lever over here on the back, and he kind of moves his arms if I push that lever, but it's not working properly, so it's kind of loose, and it's kind of, the figurine itself, it's kind of broken or old as well, so yeah, but otherwise I do think he looks pretty decent. Some paint again chipped off here and there, but otherwise it's a pretty cool addition to my collection, even though he is not working properly. And last but not least, I actually have here two figurines, or basically my two first ever figurines from the 2018 version of the TMNT, the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which honestly I'm not a big fan of. I saw like quite a few episodes of the show, and it was kind of disappointing, and it's more targeted more towards the children's these days, so I'm not a big fan of it. But since they are still TMNT, I'm going to collect the figurines if I can find some of them. So the first one is actually that I found is a villain. I think this one is the main villain in the show from what I know. I do not know the name of it, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, this is from the basic line of figurines that came out, and he is in great condition. A nicely articulated figurine, by the way. No paint problems on it or anything, so I'm still pretty happy that I found him. It's just I have no idea what his name is. I have to search online, but yeah. So first figurine for that, and after that I was able to find one of the mini figurines from the same line. This is Michelangelo on a like really futuristic looking skateboard. So yeah, those two are my first ones in this most recent, I'm going to call it that, most recent TMNT line, because ever since the 2008 series, no new TMNT stuff from what I know came out, or actually yes it did. It was the TMNT versus Batman movie, and you know, I know that that line also had like a short lived figurines, but those weren't like such widespread figurines, at least over here. I have never seen them as these were, so you know what I'm trying to say here. Now moving on to some other figurines that I wanted to show you guys. First off, this was a huge find for me, and I was really happy about it. This is a vintage figurine, and I do have a little story time included with this one. So first off, I'm going to show you guys the figurine. This is it, and this is I don't know the name of it, I'm sorry, but this is from the Food Fighters line from the 80s, made by Mattel. And this is actually one of the Food Fighters that's like a ice cream, and this is one of the like variants, because I do know that this also came like in different colors, different colored variants. It's a really fun figurine, really rubbery, and it's kind of sticky as well, even though I cleaned it. So it's kind of like the paint is, you know, slowly disintegrating, but it was like really dirty when I found it. But you guys have no idea how happy I was when I found this, because these figurines are kind of expensive. They are, I'm not going to say super rare, but they are rare, especially over here. And they are really like sought after figurines, and ever since I knew about these, I really wanted to, you know, have them, but since they are so expensive and rare, it's a first for me. So this is my first ever Food Fighters figurine that I was able to find on the flea market, and I'm just really happy about it. And a pretty cool story, or pretty actually like annoying and sad story for me, is that quite a few years ago, so this is the story time part that I was telling you guys. So quite a few years ago, I found quite a few of these on the flea market. It was like 4 or 5 pieces of them in one place at a seller. And back then I did not know what these were. I did not know that a line such as Food Fighters existed like them. And I did take a look at them. I found them really funny, and a little bit ugly too, because these are like the prettiest figurines, but you know, that's the 80s figurines for you. And I was actually debating on getting them, you know, buying them, because they were just so funny and whatnot. But since they were, you know, so foods basically, because they are like hot dog and hamburger and fries and whatnot, since this is a ice cream, and there's also like a chocolate chip cookie too. And since they are like foods, and since they are like pretty ugly and like really rubbery, I thought that they were dog toys, you know, that dogs were supposed to like chew on, because you know, they are usually like rubbery and food themed. And I was like, you know, these are dog toys, I'm not going to buy them because I don't have a dog, and my mother will think I'm crazy that I'm buying dog toys, even though I like them. So I left them there. I'm not sure how much they costed, I did not ask, but since they were like thrown in a mix, in a mix of other kind of toys in there, I'm pretty sure they weren't like expensive either. And by the way, I only paid like $1 for this one, believe me or not. I found it in like a huge box along with some other toys, so yeah, it was cheap. And I'm pretty sure those Food Fighters that I left back then were like $1 or $2 as well. And after that I have never seen them. So I'm pretty sure someone picked them up who knew what they were. And I only found out about Food Fighters and how much they are worth. And by the way, I do not want to sell them or anything, I just want them in my collection because I really like them again, and especially since they are such rare figurines and such sought after figurines, it makes them want me too. So that's usually how it works with collecting. And yeah, so ever since I remember that story, I always just get annoyed with myself that why I didn't grab them and why I didn't buy them. And there are some other regret stories like this in my flea market haunt series, or I'm not sure what to call them, what to call my life at the flea market. So yeah, I'm just always remember that, and I am always bummed about it that I left them behind, but you know, that's that. And this happened like, again, like quite a few years ago. I think it was at least 5 years or more, and this is the first time ever that I ever saw food fighters again at the flea market, and this is the only one that was there. So maybe someone found the other ones, if there were more of these in those boxes, I don't know, and maybe just accidentally left this one, or maybe it was just only this one left over there, I don't know. But I'm really happy that still that I was able to find this one, and hopefully more food fighters will come my way in the future, in the upcoming years. I don't know. Of course he's missing his weapons, but yeah, I'm just still really happy that I was able to at least find one of them, and I think he is a perfect fit to go with my grocery gang fighters, because I'm pretty sure the grocery gang fighters were like made or based on these, or the, you know, the creators got inspired by the food fighters, because they are basically kind of like the same thing, it's just different eras. So yeah, I'm just a little story that I wanted to tell you guys about food fighters and me. But yeah, so last but not least, before I blabber on too much, I have found some figurines to go into my mythological creatures and dragons collection. That's like back over there. You probably can't see from the camera, but I do have a lot of them, and I'm also running out of space like really fast. I have found 2 unicorns. Now one of these unicorns is a Papo, made by the Papo company, and the other one is made by Schleich. Now we do know that both of these companies make excellent and really beautifully painted and made figurines, but I do have to say honestly I prefer the Schleich one. I don't know why, I just think it's a more, they did a more realistic and better job, if we can say that, because you know, unicorns don't exist, but still I think the Schleich made a much more beautiful unicorn than the Papo, although the Papo one is also really like magical and pretty looking, but I do prefer the Schleich one. But regardless, I'm still happy to add both to my collection, and I also have like a unicorn made by Safari Ltd, so I have a whole herd of unicorns now. And there is also this figurine also made by Papo. This is like a rhino mutant fighter dude, and pretty fun because I actually have the Chopmay, or the cheaper version of this figurine. Well, of course this original looks way better than the Chopmay ones, but you know, we still love Chopmay. It's such a fun series, and such fun and colorful figurines that they make or made. But yeah, I still really like this one, and I think it looks really cool. It's in pretty good condition. Some paint has chipped off here and there, and unfortunately he is missing his weapon, which is, you know, it's always a chance with the flea market finds, and it happens most of the time actually. But it's still okay. I will have to find something to replace the weapon with, but yeah. So those are the 3 that I was able to find for my mythological creatures collection. And yeah, that's about it actually for this video that I wanted to show you guys and wanted to talk a little bit more about, and I do hope that you didn't get bored with my food fighters little story. Now guys, if you like my video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more flea market haul videos coming up, of course, because I'm already collecting the October stuff, and of course other kind of toy and door reviews that I do on my channel. As I mentioned before, I also have a Facebook page, and you can go ahead and like it if you haven't done that yet, and you can comment on this video over there, what do you think of the stuff that I found, what do you think of the food fighters, and if you have some of those, or if you are interested in them, and yeah, just overall what do you think of the things that I have shown you in this video. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!